In the city of Lagos lived a family of three, a mother Olabisi and her two daughters, Yetunde and Ifoluwa. It was a city where dreams were made and shattered, and for Yetunde, the latter seemed to be her fate. Olabisi, a widow, raised her two daughters alone after the untimely death of her husband. But in that household, love was not equally shared. From the moment Yetunde could walk, she felt the sting of rejection. Yetunde, for some reason, never understood the deep-seated hatred her mother had for her. While Ifoluwa was lavished with affection and praise for even the smallest of accomplishments, Yetunde was treated like a servant, unwanted, unloved, and constantly reminded of her insignificance. Yetunde was 3 years older than Ifoluwa. Ifoluwa was the daughter Olabisi adored. She could not do no wrong in her eyes. She was beautiful with a soft and shiny skin and a beautiful smile. While Yetunde found herself saddled with the responsibility of an adult, cooking, quaking, cleaning and running errands at the age of 12. She started selling and earning money for her family at the young age. Despite the dangers, but she was never appreciated. Her mother was always cursing her, saying, "You are nothing but a burden." Her words so sharp like daggers. "At your age, you can't even make a living. You are just useless to me and your sister. If not for the fact that I gave birth to you, I would have thrown you out a long time ago. I wish you would die and leave us alone." These words hurt to Yetunde so much. She did everything she could to please her mother, but she was never appreciated. At first, Yetunde couldn't understand why her mother treated her so cruelly. She asked herself over and over again, was it something she has done? Was it the way she looked? She also gets some bad and evil maltreatment from her sister, who also made her wash, clean, and cook for her, even do her schoolworks. Yetunde was smart and intelligent, while Ifoluwa only cares about her beauty and what she wears. Ifoluwa attended the best private schools, dressed in the finest clothes, while Yetunde was sent to a public school with barely enough for lunch. She wears a torn and tattered uniform. She goes late to school, and she sometimes ends up not going at all. And she became the subject of ridicule among her peers. There were nights when Yetunde would be sent to dangerous places to run errands. Sometimes her mother would lock her out, and she would sleep outside. The verbal abuse was constant. "You are good for nothing," her mother would say this to her. "You will never amount to anything." As Yetunde grew older, suitors started coming, for which her mother never agrees. But suitors that came for Ifoluwa were treated with respect. Sometimes the good ones that came for Yetunde, her mother would move their attention to her other daughter Ifoluwa. At the age of 16, Olabisi tried to force Yetunde into marrying a local businessman who had a reputation for maltreating his wives. The man was 30 years older than Yetunde. He was already married to 2 women, with children older than Yetunde. Her mother was forcing her to get married to the man. "You should be grateful anyone is even considering you," shoving Yetunde towards the man one evening. Yetunde said to herself, "I'm still a child, yet here I am, being offered to a man who would destroy my body and spirit." She said to her mother, "Mother, I want to marry him." Her voice filled with fear as she stood in front of her mother. Olabisi's eye flashed with fury before Yetunde. A sharp slap landed on her cheek. The pain radiated through her face, but the emotional pain cut deeper. "You don't have a choice here," Olabisi said coldly. "You will do as I say." That night, Yetunde ran out of the house for the first time, escaping into the streets of Lagos. With nothing but the clothes she's putting on and her bag, she wandered around unsure of where to go or what to do. The streets of Lagos are wide and dangerous, especially for a young girl with nowhere to turn. Yetunde slept under the bridge, ate crumbs of food from vendors' leftover, and tried to avoid the predators who walk around the city at night. For weeks, she lived like a ghost, invisible to the world around her. She would wake up to the harsh sounds of the city car horns, shouting traders, but each day felt like a nightmare from which she couldn't wake up from. Weeks turned into months. Yetunde learned how to survive. She found jobs in markets, carrying goods for traders, washing clothes for little pay, and sleeping in abandoned buildings. She continued to endure countless humiliation. Some men even tried to rape her or take advantage of her, but Yetunde fought back, refusing to be broken by their advances. Yetunde's life was a circle of suffering, but she refused to give in to despair. Somewhere deep inside, she believed that there was a flame of hope that remained. Some years passed, and Yetunde grew into a very beautiful lady. She later found a place to stay. An old man took her in when she saw her wandering the streets of Lagos alone. She took her in as her sales girl in her restaurant. Mama Ayo treated her with kindness, offering her food and shelter in exchange for helping her around the shop and house. One day, Yetunde went to buy some foodstuffs for Mama Ayo. She met Tunde. He was a businessman, a kind with a warm smile, an air of humility that set him apart from other worldly men Yetunde had encountered before. Tunde noticed her struggling to carry a heavy load of bags and offered to help her. At first, Yetunde was suspicious, wary of men who offered kindness. But Tunde was different. He didn't ask for anything in return. Over time, they became friends. Tunde admired Yetunde's strength. He saw past the ragged clothes and the tired eyes. He saw a woman who had fought against the odds and survived over the next few months. Their friendship blossomed into something more. And soon, Tunde asked Yetunde to marry him. Yetunde, still unsure of her words after so many years of mistreatment, hesitated and said, "Why would you want to marry someone like me?" she asked Tunde one evening, her voice trembling with insecurity. Tunde smiled gently, lifting her chin. "Because you are strong, beautiful, and smart. You have survived what most people couldn't. Yetunde, I see your value even if others don't." For the first time in years, Yetunde felt something she hadn't allowed herself to feel: joy. She accepted his proposal, and their wedding was a simple yet beautiful. With Tunde's love and support, Yetunde's life transformed. She moved into a beautiful home, and for the first time, she knew what it meant to be truly loved and cherished. 2 years later, Yetunde's life had blossomed. She and Tunde were living comfortably. She started a business, selling clothes and fabrics. She finally got the happy life she deserved. One day, she met one of her family members that informed her that her mother was ill. And Ifolua, her sister, married 3 different men, but they all ended up throwing her out of the home because of her very poor home training. She can't cook, clean, or do anything for her own good. All she does is squander their money on shopping and lifestyle. She kept blaming her mother for her misfortune and wrong upbringing. No man was able to marry her again. She was just wasting in her mother's house, doing nothing, always fighting her mother and causing troubles. She ended up becoming useless. Yet Tunde didn't know how to go back to a place she once called home. A place that rejected her and caused her pain. She confided in her husband. Her husband advised her just to go see her, that no matter what, she is still her mother. Yetunde agreed and went to see her mother. When she arrived at her mother's house, she was struck by how weak her mother looked. The once strong and fierce woman was now a shadow of her former self, her eyes filled with regret. Tears welled up in her eyes immediately. She saw her long-lost daughter that she treated like a slave. She said to her, "I am sorry, my daughter. Please forgive me. I was wrong. I see that now. Please forgive me." Her voice weak, filled with emotions and regrets. Olabisi started crying again. She didn't know what to tell Yetunde or how to apologize to her. She was so weak and tired. Flashes of what she did to her daughter started coming and flashing on her face. She never knew her daughter would one day come back looking for her again or trying to take care of her. She thought her daughter would hate her forever, though she deserves the hate. Despite everything she had done to her daughter since she gave birth to her to the day she ran away, she still came back for her. She regretted ever wishing her dead. Hey besties, I hope you guys are enjoying the story. Comment the country or state you are watching from, and also pause to subscribe, like, and also comment. Thank you. Yetunde looked at her mother, the woman who had caused her so much pain. And for a moment, the memories of her suffering washed over her. She remembered every single pain she went through. But as she stood there, she realized despite everything, she had survived. She had built a life for herself, one filled with love and happiness. And so Yetunde forgave her mother, not for her mother's sake, but for her own sake, peace of mind and happiness. "Let's get you settled, Mama," Yetunde said softly, putting her feelings aside for a moment. "I will call for a doctor." She was wondering what brought her mother to this condition. What happened, she asked herself. The doctor arrived soon, after medication and suggesting admitting her in the hospital for proper treatment and care. Her sister was nowhere to be found. It was said that she took her bag and ran away with a married poor man. Nobody knew where she ran to. Yetunde helped in her mother's quick recovery. One day, she visited her mother in the hospital as usual and asked her, "Mama, why do you treat me so differently? Why do you hate me?" Her mother looked at her. Tears welled up in her eyes, and she replied her, "My daughter, please forgive me. The thing is that I was a young woman when I had you. Your father promised to marry me, but immediately I gave birth to you, he left me and married another woman. I was filled with rage and hatred for him, and I passed down the hatred to you. I felt you were a constant reminder of that betrayal, the suffering and pain I went through because of him. I took that pain out on you. I was wrong to hate you, Yetunde. You didn't deserve it. I couldn't see beyond my own suffering. I'm truly sorry, my daughter. I didn't know how to love you, how to be the mother you deserve. I was consumed by my own bitterness and anger that I forgot to see the person in front of me. I wish I could take it all back. I truly do." Yetunde hugged her mother and told her that she had forgiven her, but it would take some time for her to heal, that she had not fully accepted her back or feel comfortable around her yet. Her mother nodded. Over the weeks, Yetunde continued to care for her mother till she finally recovered. She took her mother home and later introduced her husband Tunde to her mother. Olabisi was really happy that her daughter ended up with a good man after everything she went through in life. She learned to love her daughter. She atoned for her sins and worked harder to be a better mother for Yetunde. The daughter she rejected was the one that saved her life and took care of her. And she was the only one there for her when she was at her lowest. Why the daughter she treated so perfect turned against her and left her at her lowest, she regretted training them differently. She was the one that made Ifeoluwa turn out the way she is now. She wished she could turn back the hands of time. She promised to live all her life fixing the relationship she broke with her daughter Yetunde and to amend her ways. She was full of regrets, but Yetunde was always there for her mother. She finally started experiencing the love of a mother that she never had before in her life. Morals of the story. True healing comes with forgiveness. Holding onto resentment and bitterness only causes more pain. And no matter how difficult life may seem, determination can help overcome even the harshest challenges. Treating children unequally can have long-lasting negative effects on both the favored and the mistreated child. Parents should know or learn the consequences of favorism. The choices we make today in life can shape our future. Thank you so much, guys, for staying till the end. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. And also, I want to appreciate you for supporting this channel. Thank you so much. I see your likes, your comments, and thank you for also subscribing. For newcomers, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And also turn on your notification buttons so that you'll be notified when a new video is up. I love you guys so much. See you guys next time. Bye.